thank you very much for being with us, for taking part in the forum and the International Labour Organization. You are the president of the World Employment Confederation, which is a global organization representing the private employment services industry. Big, important organization. And I know that you were one of the first ones to join the global coalition. So I wanted to ask you how your organization is translating its commitment to the coalition into concrete actions to promote decent work, fair recruitment, and social protection.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. Indeed, the World Employment Confederation was one of the very first signatories and actually fans from the beginning of the global coalition, because of course, as industry representing private employment services, this affects us in a positive, but also in a risk perspective from the beginning. So we've been following the path of this coalition with greatest interest. The 14 thematic interventions, of course, are very interesting, but your question aims at what have we done concretely so far. We have focused on two right now. One is the initiative on AI for social impact. I think there's no surprise there. AI with that transformational power also for the entire workforce solutions industry needs to be tackled in a coalition environment. And our industry, our companies, our representatives are very engaged there, notably with guidelines on the ethical use of AI in also in general codes, again, on how AI should be used. The second initiative that we are following closely is the one on living wages. The issue of wages, of income, of remuneration in the world of work is key. Actually, it's all about the value of work, isn't it? And living wages have the potential of being the next frontier, really, in the world of work. And so the private employment services industry with WEC, with the World Employment Confederation, its members are committed there to be part of that conversation and to together from the private sector figure out how to best build what the living wages of the future are.
Great. You mentioned two very important initiatives, living wages. I mean, the ILO is certainly working on that. And then the other one, AI for social impact. So two issues which are very much at the center of what's happening in the world of work today. Now, if we look at the even bigger picture and we look at the 2030 agenda, how the decent work agenda is contributing to that, what would you say is the role of the private sector in helping to achieve the objectives of the 2030 agenda in particular?
The role is fundamental. It couldn't be done without the private sector, but actually it couldn't be done without everybody involved. And this is why the 2030 agenda continues to be so important. It is the embodiment of a cooperative approach, and it's the one that brings all the stakeholders to the table, right? I mean, when the ILO convenes, the people come. And for the private sector, it is the same. I can also tell you that for companies in the specific private employment services industry, the agenda items that the ILO identifies become strategic agenda items of those companies. So the impact there is very direct. And again, if you look at the broader world of work, one of the key elements is around ensuring that frameworks allow for diverse forms of work, allow for appropriate recruitment practices, allow for re- and upskilling, of course, as well. All of that is part of that broader agenda, and that is part of what the private sector and in particular the World Employment Confederation community is focused on razor sharp on a daily basis.
Great. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Coming.